Dispatchers help callers on the worst days of their lives. For over 25 years, we've been there. A silent partner in millions of calls thanks to our redundant and diverse networks that ensure call delivery. Today, cities are bigger, traffic more congested, and the challenge is more complex. But you're never alone, because InDigital is quietly improving, implementing, and driving the next generation of 911, so you're supported in every situation. Make the switch at InDigital.net.
If Within the Trenches has ever taught you something, open your eyes to what it is like to be a 911 dispatcher, or has inspired you to become one, then help support us and join our Patreon. Get exclusive bonus content, one-of-a-kind swag, discounts on merchandise, ad-free early access to new episodes, and much more. To join, please visit patreon.com/WTT podcast. And if you're an industry partner, we have something for you as well. And now, for the show.
This is Jordan, and you're listening to the Code 7 Podcast Network.
Warning. This episode contains the 3 A's of podcasting: adult content, adult language, and awesomeness. You've been warned.
Dispatch.
There is no one over here to cook our lunch. We are waiting for our lunch, and there's no one here to cook our lunch.
All right, calm down. Where are you at?
The group home. Now, what are you going to do?
We'll get some help over there for you, okay?
Welcome to Open Mic, where we visit the lighter side of dispatch, because laughing is good medicine. Good evening and welcome back. This is Ricardo with the Code 7 Podcast Network, and we are live for Open Mic. Hey, what's going on already over here? What's up, Cassie? This live broadcast is sponsored by InDigital, Leader Next Gen Core Services. Shout out to subscribers as always, but especially all of you who are here watching, listening, supporting, and sharing. I appreciate you very, very much. You know, actually, usually, or what I have been doing for the past few months now, I busted out my green screen just to, on this screen here with everyone, and I love having you here. With everyone here on TikTok, like last week, you could see kind of a little bit of green in back. So that was the screen there. And for everyone over here on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Instagram, you were able to see the big screen, the green screen in back of me as well. Well, I just had it on there for a little while because I just wanted to do something different. And I was cleaning a bunch of shit back here. So the screen is gone. For the moment. I mean, it's right down here. I could lift it up if I wanted to, but you can see everything in back of me. Usually people will say, what exactly is that in back of you? It looks like a spaceship. But it is a print press. That's my printing press there. And for everyone over here on TikTok who are throwing in those hearts, thank you so very much. I appreciate you more than you know. Please make sure to continue to throw in those likes over here on these screens as well. Likes, reactions, shares, all that good stuff. I appreciate it more than you know. So, as we always do for Open Mic Live, I want to check in with you. How are you doing? How are you feeling? How are things going? Because it's Sunday, April 6th. That's right. It's already April. And a lot of stuff already going on, as usual. And in some places, social media, some crazy shit is going on. And yeah. So a lot of different things going on, but again, I'm happy to be here with you. But again, how are you doing on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being shitty, 10 being awesome. How do you feel? How are you doing? I would say I'm coming in at about an 8. Yeah, I'm coming in at an 8. So I am excited to be here, as always, with all of you. Let's see. Cassie says, I am looking forward to the 13th, my next day off. Awesome. Very nice. That'll be cool. That'll be excellent. Let's see. Cassie over here says, mentally a 6. That is good. A 6 is good. I'm down with that. Yeah, a 6. Let's see if we can get the number up. And even if it's, 5 and below, as long as the number stays the same, even if it just stays the same, we've made a difference here, because that's what open mic is all about. We're not only sharing funny 911 stories or even personal stories or anything like that. We're just here taking about an hour or so out of our time with each other to just have a good time, laugh, share some stories, and just forget about the bullshit out in the world right now and talk. That's what this is all about. Over here on Instagram, just taking it day by day, sometimes half a day at a time, coming in at a 5. Hey, I'm all about that. Sometimes that's what we got to do. And sometimes we are doing better than we think. Sometimes it takes somebody else to kind of help you understand or come to the conclusion that, oh, you know what? I'm actually doing okay. It doesn't always feel like that, right? It doesn't always feel like that. Sometimes we feel like everything is just coming down around us. And then something might happen. There might be a moment. It might be even as something as simple as seeing a gorgeous sunset. And you just feel better. There was a gorgeous one this evening. I took video, and my family and I, right behind the house, we've got this hill that goes up, and I recorded a video. I'm going to post it later on, whether it be tonight or tomorrow morning. But it is a reveal shot where I'm kind of walking up over the hill, and then you see the sunset. And every evening that there is a sunset, we will take pictures, or we will go and stand out on the hill and just kind of watch and bask in the awesomeness that is a sunset. And sometimes that's all it takes. You might not realize it right away. You might be viewing it, sitting there, and you think, I needed that. I say that only because I've been there as well. It's normal. It's normal to feel that way. To feel like things are falling sometimes, and then to be able to step back and reflect and just take in the beauty of a sunset like that. And it's almost like hope, So for anyone who is here right now, I hope that you are able to have a moment to just kind of reflect, and things will be all right. And again, that's why we're here and why we talk and reach out to each other, connect, everything. Open mic is so much more than just funny 901 stories. I mean, those are good, right? That's what it's all based off of too. But when I very first started this actually going live and doing open mic was because of not only the pandemic, but also all the protests and all the crazy shit that was going on at the time. And I went live on a Sunday evening at 11:30, around 11:30 at night. It was a late night open mic, I think is what I called that very first one. And I came on and I said, with everything that I've been seeing on social media, people I've been talking to, and how just hopeless it feels, let's just talk. Let's just share some funny stories. Let's just be here together. I've been doing this for 5 years now, which is crazy to think. Christy, what is going on over here on TikTok? What up, yo? It's crazy to think. It's gone by that fast. In the beginning, when I was doing this, open mic, that is, I was doing it on Tuesdays and Thursdays. because I felt like that's how much people needed to just kind of talk. And then I was trying to keep up and everything that was going on. I ended up moving it to just Thursdays, and then I moved it to just Sundays because I kept going back and forth trying to figure out one specific day, and it felt like Sundays were the days that were working the most. So I went with that, and that's why we're here for Open Mic Live. So just kind of talk again, forget about the bullshit that's going on outside, and just connect, share some stories, and have some fun. So, one of the things that I want to do right off the bat, I already mentioned sponsors and such, and all of that, and welcoming you all back to Open Mic Live, which I love doing this with all of you. It is so much fun, man. I swear, it is so much fun, and I love to laugh. I'm a big nerd. I just love to laugh and have fun. It is always good. But episode 596 went out. Episode 597 is coming up, and that is with Steve Sutton out of Virginia. We had a lot of fun, man. It was really cool. And Amy, what up, Amy? Over here on Facebook, what is going on? She says, "Hi, Ricardo. Yes, definitely need to pause and reflect watching sunrises or sunsets. Yes, all that stuff. It is excellent. Sometimes just being in silence can be gorgeous as well." um 597's coming out this Wednesday. We are quickly approaching an epic episode 600. 600. And hold on really quick over here on TikTok. Christy says, "We talked about finding your joy every day tonight at church." Hell yes. So hey, we're all in the same going on the same wavelength there. So hell yes. Exactly. And Cassie, yes, silence is golden. Yes, silence can be golden as well. Um we've got as I said, we're approaching episode 600. 600. What? Dude, for real. Episode 600 of Within the Trenches podcast, heard in over 60 countries and has been downloaded over 2.31 million times. What? Serious. I love what I do, but I will say this, it wouldn't be what it is without all of you who are here watching, listening, supporting, and sharing, and having your courage to come on and share your stories, but not just that, to have the trust in me as well to share your stories. And damn it, thank you for that honor. Because seriously, what I do wouldn't be what it is without all of you. I started this, but it's because of all of you and your support that it continues. And I've got some congratulations over here and everything. Thank you so much. This has been more than what I ever thought it would be. And I love it. And I don't see myself doing anything else but sharing stories, going out, teaching. You know, if I ever went back to the private sector or whatever, it would be in a partnership type where I'm still doing what I'm doing because I love being able to connect with all of you and play just a small part in your 911 story, but sharing these important and powerful stories out there. And I have already planned out what episode 600 is going to be, and I am super excited because I will not be alone on that episode. I will simply say that there will be 3 other people with me on that episode, and I am super excited. I want to say so bad, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to say. I have to hang on to it. But I will say this, and I've said it before. I am like a little kid on Christmas morning sometimes where I just want to rip everything open. In that scenario with what we're talking about right now, I just want to blurt it all out. Word vomit, just blurt it all out. But I'm not going to. I need to have some sort of restraint. But damn it, I want to badly. I definitely want to. What I will say from there going on, and I've mentioned it a few times, I need to put this out there more, because we're definitely not going to hit the goal that I wanted to hit, because it's already in a week, and I think we have still like 550 members in the community. I wanted to try to hit 1,000 before National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, but I'm not sure I don't think that's going to happen, man. I would have to push, and I've got a lot of stuff that I have to do this week going into the following week. So if we can hit it by, let's say, my birthday, which is May 14th, that would be awesome as well. That would be an awesome birthday present. So the link that I put out over here on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Instagram, and then over here on TikTok, if you just go to linkswith2eyes.co/WTT podcast, you'll find the link to the community. It's called The Trenches. And the reason I have that community is because I have people who follow what I do all over social media, but not everyone has Facebook. Not everyone has Instagram, etc. So I started this community, this free community for 911 professionals to be able to go into, to network and connect everyone all together in one place. And tons of people are on there. I've been traveling and working, so I haven't been able to go in to welcome all the newer folks, but I've got that on my plan for this week. And Teresa, what is going on? James, what up, brother? Got everybody jumping in here. This is always fun. I love seeing all of you. And we're just connecting there, networking, people checking stuff out. I'm going to be adding in community events. I'm going to have speakers come on so that people can, share, whether it be something about their story or some continuing education, different topics. That's what we're going to be doing on there as well. Maybe even like a movie night sometime, or, an open mic over there, a different version of it. Either way, it's going to be all part of that community. So jump on there if you haven't done so already. And for all of those that are here watching on TikTok, if you don't already, please make sure to follow. And there's going to be a lot of good content going on there. Also, last week I announced the new Imagine Listening podcast going out there. Robin, what is going on? What up, yo? The trailer's already out there. You can find the trailer anywhere you download podcasts. The first episode is going to be coming out in just a couple of weeks, so make sure to look out for that. And I'm super excited to be able to split Imagine Listening off of the OG Within the Trenches and have them both as separate podcasts that will, the OG Within the Trenches podcast will be the interview portion, where you can learn more about someone's story, what it was like for them, all of that good stuff, and about the profession. And then Imagine Listening is just the stories. Just stories. And these are the stories that are recorded during the Imagine Listening sessions, as well as the open mic stuff will be on there as well to balance out the heavy. And I might even be on there sharing some of my personal stories, going in depth, what it was like. Again, no interview, just stories. So make sure to look out for that. A lot of good stuff that is going to be coming up. I am super, super excited. And let's see, Christy over here says, okay, I've swapped over from TikTok just to join the community. Awesome. No, that's good. That is awesome. That is excellent. The link is in there. Make sure to check that out. And I'm going to be in there this week doing a bunch of different things. And so make sure, again, check that out. Chris, what is going on? Dude, I hope you're ready for September. If you need the dates and everything, again, let me know. I will get that to you. I've got things that I'm taking care of with Joe. So I hope you're ready, man, because the ranch is going to be fun. And I'm super excited to see you there and for you to experience it. So it is going to be excellent. Code for Cafe, what is going on? I have not seen you on here in forever. Ricochet is like, hey, Ricochet. That's an older story for all of you. Ricochet Ricky was the name. Oh my God. You know what? For those who might not know, I'm going to share the story. Let's share the story. So hold on, let me look over here really quick. Teresa, in my own community, in YouTube, LOL, I'm feeling lonely over here. Well, but you're here with everyone, so it all works. Chris says he's ready, can't wait. Excellent, awesome. I am super glad. Kim, what's going on? Amy says save the link to share with my dispatchers. Yes, excellent. Thank you so much. Okay, so before I go any further, before I share this story, because I want to be able to mention the damn it, Code for Cafe, because there's a reason that Ricochet is a name, and it's pretty hilarious. Oh wait, Code for Cafe says, wait, get the tissues. You'll laugh so hard you'll cry. Janelle, hello from Dispatch Station. Hello, welcome over here to Open Mic. I almost forgot the name of my show. What the hell? What's going on? Open Mic. I'm glad to see you here. So really quick before I share this story, and I'm losing my there we go. Just need a little water. So I have some good friends who were out at the Texas Public Safety Conference just this past week in McAllen. Shout out to all of you who were out there speaking. From my homie Joe, to my homie Jojo, to my homie Chris, Mike Aurora, like all of you. But also my homie Samantha Hawkins. One of the coolest people I know. And if you don't know her, you need to look her up. She's probably one of the most genuine, awesome humans that I know. And she did her thing. She had 2 or 3 sessions, I believe, in Texas. And she did amazing, as always. I've had her as a keynote for Dare to Be Great. And she was actually one of my scholarship winners back in 2020. The pandemic fucked that up, but we ended up getting it either way about a year or so later. So congratulations to all of them for just doing excellent work. Everybody that was out there. If I didn't name your name, I apologize, because there's a lot of you, and I know a lot of you were out there. So I'm congratulating all of you. And Sam, just thank you. Thank you, Sam, for being awesome and just being one of the coolest people that I know. Fuck the noise. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. Fuck the noise. If you know, you know. But Sam, just know, I will ride into battle for you. I love you, yo. You are one of the best. So continuing from there, man, I wanted to go to McAllen, to that conference. And also Christina, my homie from Texas and from the ranch. I know you kicked ass and took names because you're just awesome like that. Yeah, boy. So hopefully next year I'll have a chance to go. I've just had so much stuff that's been going on. I didn't get a chance to go this time, but I really wanted to be there. So again, congratulations to everyone. I appreciate it. So now, Code for Cafe comes in. And I haven't seen Code for Cafe on here in a bit. But it's probably my fault too, because I travel a lot, so I have to change the day. every so often. So Code for Cafe comes in and says, "Hey, Ricochet." So here's the story. Okay. Years ago, oh man, probably almost 10 years ago. Oh shit, hold on a minute. Code for Cafe says diagnosed with breast cancer in August, caught it early. Recovering from surgery, but cancer free for now. Awesome. But pretty much sidelined since October. Looking forward to getting back on the radio. Wow. I'm glad that you're doing well. And I'm so glad to see you on here. And I can imagine looking forward to getting back on the radio as well, because man, sometimes we just miss it, right? Well, I'm glad to see you here. That is awesome. And yeah, I'm glad, like you said, caught it early, recovering from surgery and cancer free for now. Hell yes. Hell yes. Awesome. Again, I'm glad to see you here. And I'm also glad that you're here as well, because you threw out Ricochet. And now I get to tell the story. So for those who have not heard this story, because it's been a while since I've shared this story, this is years ago. We're in holy shit, we're in 2025. So this is probably about 10 years ago, okay? This is so stupid. Oh, okay. So I'll just use this as an example. This is my Topo Chico, okay? But back then, I was still drinking. I hadn't taken my break yet. It's been 6.5 years now that I've been on this break. But back then, okay, back in 2015, I was at the Indiana Nina APCO conference, okay? And I thought I was going to be cool. Yeah, I thought I was going to be cool. And I had a backpack cooler. Because here was my thought process. Everyone is going to hit up the liquor store after classes from all day. Because what we would do in Indiana, in this specific venue that we were at, we would get together in the courtyard or in this little like foyer area that they had there. And we would hang out. We would play cards. We would play, Jenga, like whatever. Sometimes we were just chilling. We were just hanging out. Well, it was raining, so we couldn't sit out in the courtyard. So we were sitting in the other area inside. And I knew that everyone was going to be there. So that was my opportunity. I go and I get my cooler backpack, go to the ice machine, and I start filling that bitch up with ice. And I had a 12 pack, but I only put 6 Coronas in there. Okay. And I'm like, all right, we're going to have some fun. Now, my thought process was I was going to have 1. Okay. Because for me at a conference, and this is advice for anybody, everyone is watching you. Okay. It's not to freak you out or to not have fun. Just be aware of how much fun you're having, okay? Because people watch. And if they're assholes, you can imagine. So I am not only representing me and my brand, but I am also, at least at that time, representing the company that I was working for, who's now is my main sponsor, and who I still work with, and we're still awesome and everything. So I was only going to have 1, which I did. But here's the thing. I put on my backpack and I think I'm badass. And I make my way to the area where everyone is at, hanging out, sharing stories, playing cards. And I go and I sit down with the crew. And I hear someone go, "Man, I would love a beer." And I'm like, "Hey, you know what? I've got a beer for you. How would you like a Corona?" "Yeah. All right, cool. Awesome." Zip, bust out the Corona. Now, this is what I was doing because I also had a cigar and I had a lighter, just your regular lighter. So what I was doing was I was holding on, had the lighter, used my finger as leverage, and popping open the bottles. Okay? Because if you don't have a bottle opener, you got to find a way, right? Like use the lighter to open it. Also, no shit, I've opened a bottle with $1 bill. You can do it. If you fold it right, you can do it. It helped at a conference once. I'll just say this really quick. I was back at my room and I had a craft brew and I didn't have a bottle opener and I was working on a presentation. I just wanted to relax with one freaking beer and I didn't have a way to open it. So I just went to YouTube and it's like, learn how to open up a bottle with $1. It's like, I have $1. And it worked. It took a little while, but it worked. Okay, anyway, back to the story, the main story. So I'm popping bottles for people and people are like, yeah, dude, well done. I don't think I've seen it like that before. And I was like, yeah, because I'm cool. Thinking I'm cool, not thinking that anything is going to happen, right? So I'm on the last beer and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take the last one because I've given the rest of them out. And I had a 12-pack, so I'll just go ahead and get more for anybody else. And I'm just going to have my one. So I'm sitting there while everyone else is talking and drinking. And I go to do the same thing. And I remember barely, like I had to have like right on the button because it opened so easily. And it was just, and when it did it, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through this. When I popped it with, there was, and maybe what it was maybe because I shook it a little bit. So there was pressure built up. There was so much pressure. I'm crying. There was so much pressure built up. I'm guessing, okay? I'm guessing that like when I popped it, the cap, okay? The cap flipped up, hit my forehead, ricocheted off it, and it hit so hard and ricocheted that it went up and hit the ceiling. And that is what everyone turned around because it sounded like a gun went off. It hit the ceiling and landed, and everyone turned and looked at me, and I was like, wow, I can't believe that happened. But no one saw me get hit. Oh, no one saw me get hit until they realized that I did get hit because the bottle cap hit me on the edge and left me looking like fucking Harry Potter, man. It looked like I had a lightning bolt on my forehead. And it started to swell. And everyone is like, are you okay? Oh my God. And I just sat there and I said, yeah, I'm all right. So I sat there and I sipped my beer just a couple times and I just sat there as we're all talking and I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to go take care of this. Everyone was busting up laughing. And I was like, screw you guys. I mean, I was still laughing. I wasn't mad. I was still laughing. Oh, man. I was annoyed, but I wasn't annoyed with people that were laughing. I was annoyed at myself. But I went back to my room and I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh my God, it is so noticeable. I put a wet cloth on it and some ice, and it ended up going down pretty fast, and I went back out. Amy says, "Dang, almost as bad as a champagne cork. Oh my god." Yeah, no, for real. Like, that's how hard it was, man. Code for Cafe, it's still some funny shit. No, you're right. It is. It is funny. It's funny now, but holy crap. So here's the thing. I had so many people laughing that the next day was going to be the open mic or Imagine Listening session and open mic. And people were already saying, "We're going to call you out on it. We're going to call you out on it." And I was like, "Go ahead. I don't care." So we went through Imagine Listening, and there's hundreds of people in that ballroom. Like, there's a bunch of people in there. Wait, Amy says, "Thank you for saying his nickname so we can hear this story. I needed a laugh." So we go through, okay? We go through and do Imagine Listening. And if you have ever been in Imagine Listening, you know how emotionally intense it can be, okay? And so we went through it, and thank the Lord, like, the my friends that were there that were gonna say something, they they knew what Imagine Listening was about, so, nobody said anything. So then when we got into the open mic part, and I did my intro right before I asked anyone if they had a funny story to share, I beat them to it. I beat them to it because I I wanted to take the power away. So when we started, I was like, "Everyone, I got a story that I want to share with you." And they're both like, because they were sitting up front, and I just went ahead and said it, and everybody was dying laughing. But my two friends that were up front, they're like, "Dude, you beat us to it." And I was like, "I took it away from you." But I ended up earning a name from everyone there during that time of Ricochet Ricky. Oh, I don't have a scar or anything, but dude, it was gnarly. It was gnarly. So I've never opened up another bottle like that. I mean, I have the same way. You can do it with a seatbelt as well. And I say that because like when I go to a gas station or something and they've got the bottled Topo Chicos or they have the bottled Cokes, um they don't have a bottle opener right there, so I go to my car and I use the seat belt and pop it open as well. You can do it with the seatbelt buckle. There you go. There's another trick for you. But with that said, again, I have not opened a bottle and it have the same result. So, a word of advice: if you do ever open a bottle, whether it be with a lighter or with any other way, be careful. Or you too might have a ricochet moment. This story has been brought to you in part by me. Oh, Code for Cafe. Thank you so much. That is such a funny it's so funny now. It is about the same as the burrito story that I shared at the open mics at sessions. Um it's just like infamous. Oh man. Whew. I don't even remember what I was going to be talking about now. The rest of it just that whole chunk went to the Ricochet story. But I am happy that it did. So Code for Cafe, thank you. I'm so happy to see you on here, and that you that you came in with Ricochet. Code for Cafe says the burrito story is funny too. Yes, and you know what was even more funny is the fact that a couple of weeks ago when I was in Missouri teaching, and I shared that story, my 21-year-old son Logan was in there. It was the first time he got to see me speak and do my thing, and also to hear that story told live. It's like, oh my God. Oh shit. I don't even know where to go with this now. Where was I? And I have to look over here at my notes to even see where I was at. Let's see. I did my shout out to those in Texas, and then so Navigator, Navigator is coming up next week. Well, in 2 weeks, a week and a half rather, and I'm going to be in booth 610. Okay, booth 610. It might change because they're rearranging some things at the moment, but as of right now, it's going to be booth 610. So if you are going to be at the Navigator conference, I want to see you there. It would be awesome to see you. I'm gonna have the strap with me, my IM 911 championship belt. I will have that with me there. When I had it last year, there were so many people who wanted to take pictures with it, and every conference that I've taken it to, people wanted to take pictures with it. And please, yes, dude, that's why I bring it. That's why it's there. And again, a shout out as always to my homegirl, Stacy, out of Alaska. I will always be grateful to you for that gift. That is one of the coolest friggin' things I've ever received. So thank you. I will have that there. I will have hats and some other swag and everything that I'll be selling. But otherwise, I'm going to be there recording stories. And I also have a session that I'm going to be doing. And that's going to be on the 17th. So if you're going to be there, make sure to check that out as well. We're going to have a ton of fun with that. And I'm going to switch the audio over here really quick. And for those on TikTok, for this video, I'm just going to put the headphones on there so you can hear it. The video is on my page already, so you can check it out there. Let me switch this over here because this part has to do with the Navigator Conference. And I want to make sure to mention this for anyone who is going to be there. So let me pull this up on screen really quick. All right, there it is. All right, here we go. I've said it for years now. This is the era of the headset. The most important person you will never see is finally seen as well as heard. And for over a decade, I have been sharing powerful 911 dispatch stories. And for the week of April 14th, 2025, I am going to be at the Navigator Conference in Orlando, Florida. And it's also going to be National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week. So come to booth 610 because I want to do something to be able to give even more recognition out there. Booth 610, that number might change, but as of right now, it is booth 610. And I want to capture a story from you on camera answering 3 questions. 1, how did you get into dispatch to begin with? 2, I want to know something that has been rewarding for you out of this profession, or you can choose to share something that you are proud of from this profession. And then finally, why you do what you do. Do that, and you will earn yourself an official IM 911 challenge coin. That's it. That's all you have to do. But here's the thing. I only have 14. That's right. I'm on my last 14 of these coins. I'm going to be ordering more soon, but these are the last ones that I have. So the faster you get there, the better chance you have of getting one of these coins. But I can't wait to see all of you. Thank you for the support. It's going to be awesome out there. A big thanks to the IAD again for hosting the podcast, and we're going to have a lot of fun. But also, thank you for what you do in this profession. It is not an easy one, and what you do is important, and you matter. And also, a happy early National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week. All right, so there it is. There you have it. Let me pull this off here really quick. All right. So, as I mentioned, I am going to be at the Navigator Conference, and I'm excited to see everyone who's going to be there. So, I'm going to have my my camera set up, kind of how it is right here, for TikTok and such. And anyone who comes up that wants to share those 3 things on camera, because I'm going to post those throughout the week, throughout National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week. If you come up to me and we record those, we capture those 3 questions, the answers to those 3 questions, you will get yourself an official IM901 challenge coin. I only, like I said in the video, I only have 14 left. So the first 14 people to get there. And what I might do is I might split it. So I might have half for one day and then the next day, the other half. Maybe that's the way I'll do it. You will get one of those coins. I'm going to be ordering more. As I said in there, I'm going to be ordering more. But as of right now, I've been holding on to these last 14 to do something. And I thought, what better way than to do it at the Navigator Conference? They're at the booth recording short stories with those who want to come up and answer those 3 questions. Very easy questions as well. How did you get in to dispatch to begin with? And 2, it's a toss-up. You can choose. You can either share a story of something that has been rewarding to you from this profession, or something that you are proud of. What are you proud of in this profession? You can choose one of those 2. Okay? Between one of those. And then, of course, finally, why you do what you do. 3 important but easy questions to share out there. And you do that, and you'll get a coin. So again, I'm excited to see all of you. I'm going to be in booth 610. If for some reason it changes, I will make sure that you all know, so that, or, you can look on the app as well. But either way, I will let people know for sure where I'm going to be. Again, I will have my camera there. I will have my microphones, the wireless microphones, and we'll mic you up, just put you in front of the camera. I will ask you those questions, and then I will edit them later and put them out there. It's just those answers, but it's just part of something that I want to do. So there'll be 14 mini stories that go out there, and maybe I'll turn it into an episode as well. I don't know. We'll see. But that is something that we want to do. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So this is going to be in Orlando, Florida for the Navigator Conference, and that is put on by the IAED. And a big shout out to them as well, because we have been partnered up since probably 2015, something like that, 2016. I don't know. It's one of the 2. We've been partnered up, and we just share each other's interests. They host a podcast there at the conference, and it's been awesome. Code for Cafe, Orlando, Florida, is where it's going to be, and that's in about a week and a half. It'll be out there. So Navigator Conference, make sure to check it out. And if you're going to be there, I cannot wait to see you. Please stop by my booth 610, and then also for the session, the panel discussion that I'll be a part of as well on the 17th. I'll be doing one out there, and it's going to be excellent. So make sure to check that out. But I guess while we're on the topic really quick, if anybody wants to throw something out there, I mean, I don't have anything to give you at the moment, but just in general, like, what is something that is rewarding, that has been rewarding from the profession? Because there's a lot of hell that happens in 911, right? But there are a lot of good moments as well. There's a lot of rewarding things. But if not that, what is something that you're proud of in the profession? And it can be as simple as saying that you are proud of yourself, because not a lot of people can do this. Over here, being told thank you after their worst moment and help gets there. Yes, those are those good moments. It doesn't always happen. And when it does happen, sometimes, at least for me, the first time I heard that, I remember like audibly gasping, like, like I couldn't believe it. Because a lot of times, even when like you mentioned over here, their worst moment and help gets there, you're not always expecting for something like that to happen, for someone to say thank you. Because us, what we're doing, we want to be able to help everyone, but also at the same time, hopefully having a good outcome, a good result. And when that doesn't happen and someone says thank you, you might almost immediately in the back of your head think, thank you for what? Because in the back of your mind, you're thinking, your loved one is still gone. Why are you thanking me? But then you step back and you reflect and you think about the fact that you were there with them. You were there for them. You were the person they needed. And that's important too. And that's why people thank you. Because you did everything that you could. I know there were a lot of times when I was in dispatch that I didn't think about that part of it. I used to think as well, I would blame myself like, fuck, like I wish I could have done more. I wish I could have done this or that. And, you get in your head, but then you really think about you were there for those people. You were there with them through their worst nightmare. Some people will say thank you. Some people will just let go. Some people might yell at you. But you have to remember that when they're living through that worst nightmare, that they're not mad at you, even though they might be saying some shit to you. It's because of what they're going through. Over here, Angie says, knowing that I am an integral part of helping my responders get through some hard shit, anticipating their needs or sometimes just a voice. Yes. Yes. Christy says, I work where I grew up and know quite a few people that I know who have called 911, and being able to know that I can put a face with the people I help makes me proud, and I was able to help. And it helps me sometimes being able to see the faces. I love that. I agree. There are a lot of things to be proud of. And maybe sometimes in some places, people don't always take those moments to celebrate their wins or to be proud of certain things because there are other people there, salty, snarky assholes who are like, will bring you down. Let them. Because a lot of times those are the folks that are having way more issues than what you think or even what they think. And it sucks. And hopefully some of those folks turn around and they realize that they're just hurting themselves and maybe others around them in these little shitty ass cliques. Be proud of what you do. The job is hard enough as it is. Be proud of what you do and recognize each other. Seriously. It's what I've been telling people in the class that I teach, especially when we're talking about reclassification. It's like, look, everyone wants to be reclassified, right? You want that recognition, right? Well, if we can't recognize each other on the front line, how on earth do you expect the government to recognize us? It starts with us. So be proud of what you do, because you're all pretty badass, man. Whether you might think it or not, you're badass. And also, again, there's a lot of those rewarding moments as well. A lot of rewarding moments. So those are some of the things that I'm going to be asking, and thank you to those who put it out there, what you're proud of or a rewarding moment or whichever. Thank you. This is stuff that should be celebrated, stuff that should be talked about. And in a lot of places they are, and that is amazing. But also there are some places that aren't doing that. Some places where people don't feel as though they're seen, heard, recognized, all of the above. And they're just trying to get through. And if you're in one of those places, and I know I've talked to some people who have said it's a waste trying to talk, it's a waste trying to do this or that, because things will never change. And maybe it does seem hopeless sometimes, but you just got to keep trying, man. Just a little more. Because even if you're not seeing the results, certain results, maybe that little bit of trying is actually helping those around you. You might not see it right away or even realize it, but there's a lot that helps. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of conversation, a little faith, a little support. We can get through all this together. So I'm excited for anyone who ends up coming up while I'm at the conference to share some of this stuff, because these are important things and I can't wait to share them out there. So going from there, I want to play this next video. This is a video that I've posted all over the place already. And this was just from yesterday, I think it was. All my days are meshing together, just like everybody else. Everything is just meshing together. So within the last couple of days is when I put this out there. All right. So I want to play this here really quick. And let me switch this over here on TikTok, because there we go. On TikTok, if you're going for too long or whatever, it ends up popping up this thing is like, are you still there? Like, yeah, I am still here. So then you have to move this puzzle piece over to that you are still there and doing what you're doing, which I understand. I just have to put it out there. Let's see. Code for Cafe says, I think it's hard to talk about the hard stuff. I've been doing this for 21 years, and most of my career, we learned to compartmentalize really well, put it in a box and throw it in an ocean. Yes, no, you're right. And for a lot of people, because I was the same way, I did the same thing. And I realized that it was hurting me personally. Again, just my experience talking, it was messing me up. But when I was ready and I started talking about the hard stuff and started sharing about the hard stuff, it was therapeutic and it helped. And that's why I've been doing it ever since. Again, it's when people are ready, because not everyone is ready. But I will say this, and this is not to scare anyone, okay? But it will come back. So that's why in my class, I try to tell people and try to teach people, let's start talking about things now, or at least trying to get to that point where people are ready to talk about some of the stuff that they're going through now. Because I know folks who, once they retired out, it all came back and they were struggling to try to figure out how to work through it, whether it was through therapy or attempting to reach out to their 911 family. And there are some folks who end up having imposter syndrome because they're not in it anymore. So they end up feeling like they can't reach out to people. But you can. And we're here. People are around. So you're right. There are a lot of folks that pack it up and throw it in the ocean But when you're ready, you'll have the opportunity to open up. Again, when people are ready. Christy says, I've been doing this for 25-ish years, and I feel like I don't remember some of it. Am I the only one? No, you're not the only one. There are a lot of people who have said the same thing. That's normal. I'm the same way. There are a lot of chunks that I don't remember either. And the interesting thing is that it comes back when I'm talking about maybe some calls, or when I talk about my time in dispatch, and then it just pops into my head. I'm like, where was that call? Where was that story? Or, yeah, see, Code for Cafe is right there with you. Yes. Or maybe I'll hear something, smell something, see something on TV, and it brings it back. Jojo, what is going on, yo? Just to let you know really quick, I give you a big shout out in the beginning. I was congratulating everyone who was out there at the Texas conference. But yeah, no, you two are not the only people. I'm the same way. And I know a lot of folks that are the same as well, that feel like they have just kind of pushed out some chunks of their dispatch career. It happens. It does happen. But I'll just say, just from my own experience, that I'm talking here, there have been things that I have seen, heard, experienced, whatever, that trigger style. And I don't mean in like a, crying type thing or anything. It just, I realized that I remembered a call, and it was because of, whatever happened. And I thought, damn, that was buried. Like, I didn't realize how far it was buried. And sometimes even when I'm like sitting talking with my siblings, and we'll be talking about some stuff, and then Christy says, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Yeah, no, you're not the only one. You're not the only one. I think all of us are like that. Excuse me. But I'll be talking with my siblings. We'll be just sitting around chatting or whatever, and then I'll jump into a call, and after I'm done, I'll be sitting there, and they're like, are you all right? And I'll go, I'm just realizing that I had that one packed away, and I hadn't thought about that in 20 years, or whatever, however many years it is. And but it happens that way. But all I can say is that when you're ready and you feel that you want to start talking about it, it's try to start, because later on it'll come back, and then you'll have to start working through it then. And again, I say that just from my own experience and from experiences of others who have told me that. Okay, I'm not a doctor, not anything like that, so I'm not claiming to be. I'm just speaking through experience and through experience from others who have told me the same thing. But yeah, you're not the only one, and you're not alone. That's why conversations like this are important as well. So the other day, I every morning I try to do at least 20 minutes of yoga. I've had 2 different routines that I do. And I want to play this video really quick. Again, over here on TikTok, I've already posted it, and I'm going to put the headphones down here so that you can hear it. But here we go. I want to play this really quick, as we've gone over the hour. This will be the wrap up here. I was going to play some funny audio, some funny stories from the Imagine Listening open mic session that I did a few weeks ago at the Texas Ranch, but I'm going to save that for the following week. Plus, there are some pieces that I need to make sure to edit. So I want to close out with this here, because I want to know, as we're going into the wrap up of this, what your answer is. Okay. All right. Let me put this up on the screen. All right. Here we go. So I'm currently out and about right now,
and I thought of something, and I needed to pull over. I found a parking lot so that I could record this really quick and share. So this morning I was doing yoga, and at the very end of the yoga routine that I do, the person doing the narration asks a question, and the question is, think of one thing in your life that you are grateful for today. And for me, I am grateful for what I do, whether it be a podcast, teaching, storytelling, imagine listening, just being able to give back to the 911 profession is what I am grateful for today. So I'm curious, what is one thing in your life that you are grateful for today? I look forward to seeing what you have to say in the comments.
All right. So there you have it. Okay. As we go into the wrap up of this week's open mic, what I want to know from all of you is, what is one thing in your life that you are grateful for? Whether it be here on TikTok, over here, Facebook, YouTube, X, and Instagram. What is one thing? Jojo over here says, I am grateful for any life I touch with my story, struggling with mental health. Amazing. I love it. Yes. It's interesting how just through conversation and the power of storytelling, how much we can impact the lives of others, especially if you're in the same field. Because just as we were talking a moment ago, am I the only one feeling a certain way? No, you're not the only one. You're not alone. Two pretty good friends of mine, I will say now, out of Ohio, they had made mention that there's way too many of us to feel alone. And we just need to reach out to each other, or continue to reach out to each other and be there for each other. Christy says, from church and y'all learning that I'm not alone. There you go, right there. Yes, you're not alone. Yeah. Haley saying, I'm grateful for my coworkers. Yes. Yes. Because they're the ones who know what it is that you're going through and what it's like. I've said this many times, but I will say it again, because it's a moment from dispatch that I will never forget. And it was me working with a couple of my coworkers. Oh, wait, over here, Beth, what's going on? Says, I'm grateful for my work family. I love that. Yes. I remember being with my coworkers, and this was before I left. And I remember saying to them, we have lived through some shit that people will never understand. Well, they will never know, but we will know that. And I love you guys for that. We were there for each other. Over here, it says, my son, and that one day I pray he'll be proud of what mama does. Amazing. Yes. I will tell you this really quick, as you mentioned that, because I can tell you it will happen. Years ago, I was recording an episode. It was my kid's mom and my son was sitting on the side. The episode was about what it was like for her as I was in dispatch. And it was eye-opening. But I asked my son as well. I think he was a sophomore at the time. And what he said was, well, it's hard to miss something that you didn't have, which, broke my heart, man. That was a stab. And I remember my wife says to him, like, Logan. And he's like, well, and I said, no, no, no. Those were his true feelings. I'm leaving it in there. And I did. I left that in the episode because I wanted people to hear that. That was his honest opinion. Because I was gone a lot. A couple years later, senior year, I'm helping him with his advanced speech class, and there was a report that he did. What I didn't know was that the report was on me. The report was on me and what I do in 911. And I remember he came and he showed it to me. And I was reading it, and as I was reading it, I was like, and he told me, I understand now. I didn't understand before, but I understand now. And I'm proud of you. You're doing amazing work. And then just a couple of weeks ago in Missouri, he got to see me speak and see what I do. And he said, it was awesome seeing you up there and seeing you in your element. He goes, I can tell you love what you do. And I said, I do. So for you, that's why I mentioned that. He will understand and will definitely be proud of you. Because you do amazing things. All of you do amazing things in this profession. Code for Cafe over here says, I'm grateful to have found a career I love, the ability to help others and make a difference. I can only do this by being blessed with supportive family and friends. Hell yes. Angie says, right now, I'm grateful for all of these other dispatchers out there that do still care and give all of themselves when behind the mic, because lately I've wondered if there are others that care or if I was giving too much. I hear that. Chris says, I'm grateful for all the great people I get to work with and for all the people who support and believe in this profession. Hell yes. See, these are amazing things to be grateful for. Damn. This was a way to close out tonight's open mic. Hell yes. Thank you all for what you do in this profession. And I know it's a week early, but I'm going to say it anyway. Happy early National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, where we celebrate you and what it is that you do. But damn it, we celebrate every fucking day. Because again, this is not an easy profession. Not everyone can do it. But you're doing it and you're kicking ass and you're taking names. So thank you for what you do. Be proud. Hold your head up high. Be proud of what you do. So, where are you at now for your number? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being shitty, 10 being awesome, where are you at? I am way above a 10, man. Way above a 10. And I have had so much fun with all of you tonight. We've had a bunch of people in here engaging on all social media platforms. I mean, we ended up getting 2.3 thousand likes over here on TikTok. So thank you, all of you, for that. Yes. Hell yes. JoJo's at a 10. This has been a lot of fun. Hell yes. Code for Baby, 10. Yes. Code for Baby. Code for Cafe, 10, baby. I read them both at the same time. Oh, man. And we got the Ricochet story out there. Beth over here at a 10. Hell yes. Hell yes. And for all of my homies that were here, that were watching from just a couple of weeks ago's ranch, I mentioned that I was going to be playing some audio. I apologize. Ran out of time. I definitely need to edit some of that audio. But next week, I will make sure to play it and we will go through it. We've got 10s, 8s, 9s, all of these numbers coming in. 6, excellent. And that's after 7 days of 12 hours on the shift. You are awesome. Thank you for being here and for doing what you do. And that's a good number, especially for what you just said. Holy moly. I hope that you get some time to chill and relax here coming up. But thank you for what you do. All of you. Damn, this has been so much fun. I don't want to leave, but this has been a lot of fun. This live broadcast has been sponsored by InDigital, a leader next gen core services. Thank you to all the subscribers, all of you, as always, for watching, listening, supporting, sharing, all of it. Thank you. This can be seen on Facebook, YouTube, X, as well as Instagram, and over here on TikTok as well. If you have any comments, questions, or you ever want to be a guest on the flagship show, the easiest way to do this is to simply go to links.co/WTT podcast, and that's links with 2 i's.co/WTT podcast, and you'll find everything there. Email, social media, where to follow, the latest episode for Within the Trenches podcast, and I'm going to be adding also the spot for the Imagine Listening podcast so that you can listen to the latest episode on there. Make sure, if you haven't done so already, to subscribe wherever you listen to your favorite podcast for Imagine Listening. Your worst day is our every day. The first episode is going to be dropping in just a couple of weeks, and I cannot wait for you to hear it. The first episode is going to be talking about the history of Imagine Listening, how it started, some audio from the very first session in Indiana when I did that, and then we are going to be jumping into the different sessions, some personal stories of my own, and you are not going to want to miss a single episode from Imagine Listening. So there'll be those. Also links for the free community. The link is on there to be a guest on Within the Trenches podcast as well. And then everything else is there. So just make sure to check it out. Links, 2i's.co/WTT podcast. You'll find it there. And this can be heard. Well, not this portion specifically, but Within the Trenches podcast can be heard 24/7 on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, your favorite podcasting app, and withinthetrenches.net. Have a good one, everyone. Have an excellent night, and I will see you all in the next one.